friends, and welcome to Happy Brain, Happy Life. My name is Dr. Mirelis Aponte, Dr. Mimi, your neuropsychologist and brain health expert, and my goal is to help you use brain based strategies to think, feel, and act better, faster, so you can feel happier every single day. And today I have a special teaching for you, and I called it the power of easy. Yes, the power of easy. How brain plasticity actually drives abundance in any area of your life, in health, wealth, business, spirituality, relationships, any area that you want to build abundance and wealth in. And so I'm hoping that by the end of this lesson that you'll be able to find and learn simple practical strategies that you can apply and start applying today to achieve that abundance and overflow that we're all seeking in life, because we want our lives to improve, right? We want to always be better. We always want to have the best version of ourselves. And this is going to be by making some shifts in the way we think to make it easier for our brain to accept. And so let me start by introducing you a little bit to what is brain plasticity. Now, I have talked a lot about this topic because it's key to understanding how our brain functions, but also how our brain is able to learn and apply what we're learning, or able to execute what we're letting it, what we're telling it to do. Right? So let's start by understanding that brain plasticity, or neuroplasticity, as we can also call it, is the brain's ability to change, adapt, and rewire itself in response to what? To learning and to experiences. So every single experience, every single day, are going to create some memories, is going to create neural connections, is going to create our brain cells to connect and create patterns, right? So, if the brain resists to change, that's when tasks feel hard and overwhelming. Okay, so if you're trying to make a positive change in your life, but you're making the task extremely hard for the brain, you're going to find resistance to that change, because honestly, don't tell anybody, but the brain is lazy. It wants it all easy. So the more we show it that it can be easy, the faster it's going to adapt to a new pattern and new discipline on achieving something in particular that you want to, achieve. So it does thrive, your brain thrives in small, manageable changes that feel like really achievable, right? And so what it does, it kind of rewards itself, right? It releases dopamine, it releases the good neurotransmitters that say, hey, you were able to achieve that. This is why in our coaching sessions, one of the things that I teach in particular is how to break that down into small tasks, so that the brain understands this is easy, I can do this, and then you increment in a way that the brain understands this is not a hard task for me. So it is very rewarding when we're working on smaller tasks that create change in smaller bits. Okay. Now think of the brain as your GPS system, right? It kind of recalculates the route when there's a detour or when there's heavy traffic, but it does so more effectively when it has directions that are clear and straightforward. When you really tell it, okay, I just want to go from A to B, that's it, right? So be sure, to give your brain simple instructions. And we do that ourselves, right? We do that in the way we think, we do that in the way we practice different tasks every single day. Have you ever, think about this for a minute. Have you ever like given up a goal? Certainly we all have. Just because it felt like too hard or too overwhelming. I know I have. Like, I'll raise my hand first and say, yes, I know I have. So one of the things that it does is because we it did not feel easy enough for our brain to achieve. Our brain did not believe that that was an easy task. We have been bombarded with thoughts that, work has to be hard. You have to work hard to achieve your goals. You have to make it difficult. It's going to be difficult on the road there. And yes, we have sold ourselves into everything having to be hard and difficult. And so when you're telling the brain, yes, this is going to be hard and difficult, guess what it's going to tell you? It's not happening. So if you want to achieve this year something new, if you want to, it doesn't matter if you're seeing this at the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, wherever you are starting, if you want to achieve anything new or something moving forward, this is the moment to understand we are not giving hard instructions. We are making it powerfully simple and easy. Okay, kind of saying stupid simple, right? Yes, make it stupid simple for the brain, make it easy to understand. And this is the way, this is the reason why the brain has a reward system, right? And that reward system, what it does is when it finds that it can achieve small tasks more frequently, it just releases good neurotransmitters, dopamine, that makes you feel happy and successful. It's that feeling that you get when you win a race, right? That all is liberated in your body. And so what it does is make you feel successful. It makes you feel satisfied. It makes you feel, wow, what's the next step? It makes you feel, what am I going to do next? However, when you bombard it with consistent failures, right? This is why school system for me, the failure, instead of the success, the success, we really need to reward the smaller success rather than marking down all the horrible errors that somebody has made. We need to be telling the brain, this is what you can achieve, right? And so it's so important because that reward system in the brain is going to base, remember what I said at the beginning, brain plasticity. It is based on the experience and the learning experience, right? So now that we are consistently having smaller wins and smaller successes in life, then those can be multiplied, right? Then those can be expanded. Then those are already easy for the brain. And now it's able to do it 2, 3, 4 times. It's able to, adapt easier to that particular task. So it is really important that we make repeated small wins that create the proper neural pathways for faster and more effective than large and overwhelming tasks that won't get you there. Okay, that is how the brain works. If you insist on doing it differently, unfortunately, you are going to see yourself constantly failing, and all that you are doing is training your brain to be unsuccessful. And so you're not going to get to success anytime soon. And I tell you this because I've been working with a student, a medical student, and one of the pieces that I've consistently trained on has been, do not study for 7 hours in a row. Like, that does not make sense to the brain. It's not going to want to do it tomorrow. It's not going to want to do it the day after again. You've got to do it in smaller increments. Even if it's 30 minutes and take a break and do something, stand up, move around, go again, stay, do 30 more minutes, take a break. I mean, the brain wants to do it in an easier way, and so easy that it seems silly easy. And that's gonna get you through the whole piece that you need to study, but it does not make sense. This is why a 7 hour a day academic setting does not make sense to the brains in this country. And we say it's successful. Unfortunately, you see, the mental health in this country is equivalent to what we're doing today in the academic system. Yes, I'm very passionate about it because I do not believe in it. And we all say, oh, but I'm successful now. Yes, but I can see all the struggles that I had to push through emotionally and socially and all of it, just to compensate what we have done, instead of teaching the brain from the beginning, this is easy simple, this is powerfully easy. to do. So let's make sure that we're teaching the brain in simple ways. And an example of that is, yes, I want to build, where we all say, okay, I want to build $1 million business. Fantastic. That is a great goal in the long term, but the brain will not believe it until you're doing the smaller task first, which is, what is the one new client that I'm going to attain today? What is the one new client that I can connect with today and make it happen, right? And so it is so much more attainable and believable than the $1 million that you've never seen in your life before. So make sure that you're creating to yourself, that you're telling yourself and giving yourself the tasks that are small enough that when added up, all of a sudden are going to be that, you know, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month. I remember having a client that she was at $10,000 a month and very successful businesswoman, but had achieved a moment where she was like extremely tired. And she's like, but I don't know, I want to take my business to $20,000 a month, but I'm already so tired. And it's because she was making the task very heavy, very tiring. And so she was not being able to multiply herself to a point where she was making the $20,000 a month. Now we started implementing these short, smaller tasks, easier tasks to multiply. And like 2 months after we had started, like 8 weeks later, she's like writing to me, I cannot believe it, but I didn't get 20, but I made 19,000 a month. And for me, that's a $20,000 month. And so it was so successful. It was so good because now she's focusing on the easy tasks, smaller, easy tasks that really tell the brain, yes, this is achievable. It's as easy to make 20 as it is to make 10,000, right? And so make sure that you're using those easy strategies, easy steps, repeatable, simple, silly, easy for the brain. Okay. It is more likely, your brain is going to be more likely to accept and integrate it than to ignore what anything that you're trying to achieve. Is going to say, this is manageable, I can do it, and you'll just be able to achieve more of those tasks. Now there's also one thing that I do have to share, is that you need to control the cognitive load, right? That you're giving your brain. And this is because we get super busy, right? We're always saying, oh, how are you? And it's like it's been crazy busy. Well, stop being crazy busy. Stop telling your brain that, number one, you're crazy busy, but number two, stop telling your brain that everything has to be hard and busy all the time, because this is not true. The cognitive overload that we receive and perceive and get our bodies used to is, number one, is not healthy. So it's going to lead to disease, it's going to lead to sickness, it's going to lead to less energy. But number two is that it limits the capacity of your brain to process information. So if you want to be successful, you need a brain that's working properly. So you need to reduce that cognitive load, which is at the end gonna make your learning easier and way more effective. So this is why I tell people, do not study, do not do something new when you're exhausted, because you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting yourself and wasting somebody else's also success. Make sure that you are implementing rest time. Make sure that you are using your agendas properly, in a way that is simple and effective. This is key to that success and to maximize that neuroplasticity. Tasks should be broken down into simple, digestible steps. We have a strategy. I cannot teach the whole thing today, but we break the day into blocks. And certainly by time, I use my timer all the time for myself, for my kids, because it just helps my brain understand this is a simple task that will only need to take me 15 minutes, and I don't need to take longer than that. I don't need to distract to other things for longer time. Avoid the multitasking. It's another key piece to this, because multitasking will cause that cognitive overload. And so here are going to be a couple of strategies. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas today on how to implement in different areas of your life, so you can start implementing today. Does that make sense? That we can make it power easy? Yeah, the power of easy for our brains today. Now, let's start with some of the strategies that will really shift your mindset. So, for example, let's say in the health area, you are saying that one of your goals for this year is going to be start with a 5 minute daily wellness habit. Now, 5 minutes, yes. And when I say 5 minutes, it's literally like put on your clock, put on your alarm for 5 minutes. Or I talk to Alexa, Alexa, set the clock for 5 minutes, set an alarm for 5 minutes. Make sure that you are using your timer for this because it's just gonna get the brain into saying, that was easy, only 5 minutes, like time was over. Okay. Now, I remember my first time that I was doing 3 minutes on the rebounder. I love rebounder for health. 3 minutes a day, really, literally 3 minutes a day. If you can do it twice a day, even better. 3 minutes a day on a small rebounder, one of those small trampolines. It does amazing things for your health, for your brain, for your immune system. But I remember like 3 minutes. I remember the first time I put 3 minutes, it seemed like so long. Like these 3 minutes are not going to be over. Now 3 minutes go and it's like, oh, it's done. It's gone because the brain has understood it's a very, very simple task. So let's start with saying, okay, I want to, have better health this year. What do I start with? Well, let's start with a 5 minute daily wellness habit. Be it the breathing, be it using the rebounder, being stretching, maybe being using a gratitude journal in the morning, something only for 5 minutes. So even if you're journaling, only for 5 minutes, the timer goes off, you put it down. Literally, you put it down. You can finish your thought, but you put it down. It's not about staying 10 or 15 minutes because your brain is going to then say, it's too hard, it's too long, it takes me too long, so I won't do it the next day. No, it's got to be short and simple. And so the brain is going to build that momentum of that small success. So my first small success of the day is as easy as making my bed. I've said it so many times, I do it before. As soon as my feet touch the ground, I'm already like putting the blanket up, okay? And I stretch the blankets and I make sure that my bed is done before I start my day. It's a simple, silly success of the day. Okay, so make sure you're making those throughout the day. For example, in your finances, maybe you're looking into paying off debt or maybe saving more and it's been very hard for you. Well, start with super micro goals like saving $1 a day, even for a month. Save $1 a day. What is that going to do at the end of the month? And you say, oh, that's such a silly task. Well, it's a silly task, but when at the end of the month you see that the money was there. I do it, for example, using an app. I use an Acorns app. There's so many of them out there. And I have it for my kids and I have it for myself, and my husband has another one, and we all have it. And so it helps us save up without us even know it, but in smaller increments, so it doesn't hurt. Like it doesn't feel like, I'm pulling so much from here. But at the end of the day, I remember today my husband was just saying, hey, the money for this is here in the savings account. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, because I knew that we've been putting that without it hurting. So make small task happen and it'll be easier, like tracking only one expense at a time. Start with a smaller task. Oh, but I have so much debt to cover. Yes, but you won't get to any of it until any of those smaller tasks have been successfully done. So in the financial system, the wins are better by rewarding your brain by achieving smaller ones that actually accumulate and help you. It's like the snowball, right? Pay off the smallest debt first and make sure that that is a big win, so that then you can continue to roll that ball to the bigger debts that you might have. Now in business is the same thing. So let's say we focus on one easy actionable step every single day, like sending a follow-up email or posting on social media, something very specific. And I use Mondays to do this kind of task. Like Mondays are my administrative kind of day, and so I make sure that I have all the smaller. I break them down in small tasks, and I, get myself the check mark, and it helps me feel, success. There's people that hate checklists. I love checklists because it helps my brain in simple, small tasks. And I break it down as small as possible so I can feel, oh, yes, I did this. For my kids, I put, did you do the laundry? And it's not just the laundry, right? One basket of laundry, we put one basket of laundry washed, one basket of laundry dried, one basket of laundry folded. You see? And so we break that whole laundry thing into three smaller tasks that help, kind of check off and feel, I already did this. And so it feels successful. The brain is giving that reward system. And last but not least is our spirituality area. For example, I want to incorporate you might want to incorporate more moments of prayer in your daily routine, or meditation in your daily routine. The brain will strengthen your spiritual habits when they feel effortless. So, oh, I want to do an hour of prayer every morning. Well, if you've never prayed for an hour, the average person prays only 10 minutes a day, 10 to 15 minutes a day, which I think should be way longer when compared to other people from around the world. Christians only pray like 10, 15 minutes, and Muslims pray almost 60 minutes a day. But the reason why they're so successful at that is because they break it out into like five different prayer moments throughout the day. Something they know about the brain, because they break it down into smaller tasks. So if you break it down, your spiritual life is going to be strengthened by constantly rewarding your system and being able to achieve something really consciously, right? So it's not about just, going down the road and driving on the way to work, you're praying, right? That counts. Okay, but it's your really conscious moment when you're quiet with yourself, but make it small, broken down into many pieces a day. You're going to find yourself praying way more time during the day, but also way more spiritually connected to the source. Okay. And so think about it, and one last piece I want to give you is this practical exercise to rewire your brain for abundance. Okay. So we're going to write down one big goal, or one big goal of any of the areas that you want, maybe health, finances, business, spirituality, relationships. You decide which area you want to focus on right now. And I want you to break it down into three micro steps, three smaller steps that feel really easy. You can do this in any area, but even with your kids, you could do something that's at home. You could do some chores or things like that. For you, for yourself, things that you want to achieve, just take that one task that you want to complete and make sure that you break it down into three simple micro steps. And then from the three simple micro steps, I want you to complete just one today, just one. Don't go and complete all three of them. I want you to complete just one. Okay. And the reason for that is, oh, but I can do all three. I don't want you to complete all three because you're going to make it hard for your brain again. We need to give your brain time to create this new habit and make it successfully. And it's going to take you about 21 to 30 days to create that new habit. So give yourself this next 30 days to build some new and strong, simple, easy, powerfully easy habits for your brain. So let's say we want to improve our health by doing exercise, right? So beautiful. A goal for the year. I want to improve my health by exercising regularly. Now I'm going to break it down into five micro steps. Walk 5 minutes a day, drink a glass of water in the morning, or stretch for 2 minutes before bed. Do only one of those to start with, okay? And so I want you to do one of those three every single day for at least a week before you incorporate another one. Got it? Put a timer for it. And so you can do that in any of the areas that you decide. Break it down into three micro steps and then choose one of those to do starting, yes, today. So as a recap, guys, we have looked at how neuroplasticity, is most effective, right? When tasks are easy for the brain, they're small, they're simple, they're stupid easy. It'll create a lasting change in any area of your life, in health, in finance, in business, in spirituality, in relationships. But they have to be simple, easy, and they're going to become powerfully easy because it does work. That's how your brain work incorporated this way, and you're going to find abundance is really achieved not through super huge leaps, but through really simple, consistent, easy steps that your brain can embrace. Okay? And so let's think about committing. Make sure you're committing to one easy step today, okay? That moves you closer to that abundance and that wealth that you're wanting for. And it's remember, wealth is not about money. Wealth is about quality of life, that achieving the things that you want, feeling happy. Your brain feeling happy is a life that is happy. And so this is why if you understand the brain and you apply the simple steps, make sure you share these steps, with in the comments. I would love to see what has been your that one thing that you're going to do this week and starting today. Maybe write that goal down there with your 3 micro steps and tell me which one you're starting with today. I would love to hear what you are personally committing to, because a brain that changes itself is a brain that achieves abundance. Okay, and so that's what you want to achieve this year. Then let's make it powerfully easy for a happy brain to give you a happy life. Hope you have enjoyed this teaching today. Let me know what you think about it, and see us also in our YouTube channel if you want to repeat.